Good morning to a foggy pier. Good morning to everyone out there. This is Cal Land on the go with all you need to know on news and weather as you begin your day.
The initial court appearance for a Sioux Falls therapist accused of having a relationship with one of his patients has been delayed. Roy Conrad is now scheduled to appear on August 28th. Conrad isn't the only high-profile case of someone in a position of trust in trouble with the law.
A Hartford chiropractor is accused of having a sexual relationship with a teenage girl whom he was treating. Therapists are disappointed that their colleagues in positions of trust are accused of violating the law, and they want people to know there's help available.
I think sometimes victims blame themselves, or they start to question, could I have done this or might I have done that? And what we always want victims to know is the responsibility always lies in the perpetrator who knew what they were doing and took advantage of those pieces.
The Compass Center wants people to know that there are safe places for people seeking help. They say ethical boundaries are in place for a reason. 2 people are facing long lists of charges in Sioux Falls following an alleged assault, crash, and chase. Police say it started Friday evening along Kiwanis Avenue with the vehicle following another car. At a red light, a passenger got out of the vehicle, allegedly pointed a gun at the driver, whom he was following, and took the driver's phone. Later on, officers say the same 2 men punched and kicked a man and nearly ran over a woman.
Around 8:20, police spotted the vehicle in question and tried to stop it. Investigators say the vehicle drove through an intersection and hit a car. The driver tried to run away, but police arrested both men. 31-year-old Brady Cloud of Sisseton and 33-year-old Jordan Cloud of Veblen, South Dakota, both have lengthy criminal records. Police say there were no serious injuries to anyone involved in the incidents.
Let's turn our attention now to weather and this hot and humid forecast ahead of us this Tuesday.
Same thing as what we had yesterday, close to the same thing, and I think this trend will continue in many locations for tomorrow. Forecast for today, let's go with highs in the 90s and the 100s. Of course, you throw in the humidity, and we have that heat index. That may get close to 110 at times. We are looking at this heat to continue all the way through tomorrow, and for some of us, it may even last into Thursday across extreme eastern and southeastern Kettleland. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up.
Thank you, Scott. An extended stretch of extreme heat can impact the overall health of your yard.
With temperatures hovering near 100 degrees, if not higher this week, Oak Ridge Nursery and Landscaping in Brandon says to keep a close eye on your plants, but only water them if the soil is dry. When it comes to your grass, owner Damon Coughlin says stick with your normal watering schedule.
Most of the bluegrass lawns, they naturally go dormant when it's really hot, so even though it might brown out, as soon as we get some cool temps and some rain, it'll pop right back again.
Coughlin says Oak Ridge will close a few hours early today and tomorrow to keep its employees indoors during the hottest part of the day. School starts Thursday for kids in the Sioux Falls School District.
While the district has hundreds of education support professionals on staff, about 45 more are needed. From working in the library to helping with recess, support staff fill a variety of roles.
It seems like, that need never really ends as we look to serve our classrooms just the very best we can.
The district is also hiring substitute teachers and custodians. To see all the open positions and apply, head to this story on our website. Schulte Subaru is known for donating cars and raffles supporting nonprofit organizations in the region, including a vehicle for the Caring for Kids banquet each and every year.
This year, in honor of a staff member's retirement, they decided to donate 2 cars. The drawing for two lucky winners happened earlier this month, and the result was not at all what they expected.
And he goes, "You won 2 cars." And I'm like, "I won 2 cars?" And I could barely catch my breath. And my husband was in the other room still packing, and he's like, "What did you say?" I said, "We won 2 cars." He couldn't believe it. My daughter is there, and she's like crying because she's so happy and jumping around. 2 tickets were purchased, 2 cars won.
You may be wondering what were the odds. We did the math and the chances of her winning. Both vehicles were won at nearly $320,000. That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, weather it is, and morning lows so far this morning. Look at those numbers: 78 Brookings, Sioux Falls, 81. And if that holds in the books this morning, which it appears it will, that would tie the warmest low temperature ever recorded in Sioux Falls. We've done this twice in history that we have, 1936 and 1938. So if you think it's warm this morning, absolutely. This is about as bad as it gets on that accord. Let's look at Futurecast. These hourly numbers, they're back in the 100s today. It is a drier heat, though, coming in this afternoon. West and southwest of Sioux Falls. So there's some give and take when we calculate the actual heat index. It may not be quite as bad, but any way you cut it, it's still a pretty rough day. So excessive heat warnings remain in effect for much of the southeast. You do notice, though, that Aberdeen and Mobridge, there are numbers in the north central that aren't nearly as hot. So we do have some differences here across Kendallland. Tonight, I still think it's going to be a warm overnight. We're going to drop back into the 70s for a lot of us. And then tomorrow, another really hot day, more of those 90s and 100s in the south. And we do see a couple of things here showing up as we get into this forecast at the end of the week. Hopefully breaking the heat. This big heat ridge is expected to break down by Friday. And at least at that point, we can usher in some chances of rain. Let me show you this. You're going to hear in the news a little bit more today about Harold, which is a tropical system in the Gulf of Mexico. That moisture is forecast to move to the west across South Texas, eventually rounding the bend into New Mexico. And given the placement of the high pressure center, we think that some of this moisture will eventually turn the circle. See how it circles around, and eventually that can come into parts of Nebraska and South Dakota as early as Friday into Saturday. I still think Nebraska is probably going to see more rain, but there's still time for these things to continue to pivot around. So let's keep an eye on that, and we'll take some moisture after the hot weather this week. Here are the numbers on the 7-day forecast. The worst actual air temperature will be today and tomorrow. Then mid-90s Thursday, 90 Friday. Chance of rain 30%. And then the weekend, that's a lot better when it's down in the 80s. Aberdeen will also see a big change with 80-degree weather by the weekend. And the rain chance not as high here, but a couple of things to watch on Friday and again by Sunday. Pierre is in the same boat here, the worst of the heat the next 2 days, and then we start to head in a better direction. I also think the southwest part of South Dakota may do better on rain here starting Thursday into Friday, hopefully knocking those temperatures down. Find out more coverage online at KENDALLAND.com.